All right, Mark, getting ready to face Demarques Jackson this Friday, and you enter this one in a little bit of unfamiliar territory, 2-fight losing streak. How would you describe your fight week mentality this week compared to other fights you've had in the past?
Honestly, pretty close to the same. Nothing's really changed. Coming off 2 tough losses, but I mean, that's the past. Now I got to get a win. That's all I'm really focused on.
Yeah, the past of the past is something that a lot of fighters, try to keep an eye on because hindsight, especially in this sport, is a fickle beast. And you've always been a pretty active guy, and you had a rough stretch of fights being canceled. But in hindsight, like after the win against Josh Smith, coming back a few weeks later to fight Amosov, who's getting ready to fight for the belt on Friday, and then turning right around to fight Jaleel Willis. Is there a part of you that kind of regrets that decision, or is there a part of you that feels like, you know what, this is the journey I was meant to go on? No regrets whatsoever.
I got no regrets. To be honest, when I first was a pro, I was working full time and fighting as a pro, and it was draining. But then after I was able to sign with Bellator, now this is all I do. So I'm able to stay in the gym. I'm able to stay ready for short notice fights. Kind of made this my life, sort of. So short notice fights, I'm up for those. That's what I'm here to do.
Is it a little surreal that you were scheduled to fight on the card that was canceled here in March, like right when the pandemic shut down, and now you're competing on the first event that brings fans back in the same building 13 months later?
Yeah, you're the first one to say that. I haven't really thought about that. It is kind of wild. That whole experience getting it, the fight got canceled 3 hours before, I was supposed to be in the cage. That whole thing was pretty wild, Yeah, no, I haven't even got time to think about that.
Just like all the cancellations in a row.
Yeah.
And then a freaking pandemic shuts everything down too.
Yep.
So, and 3 hours before you're here getting ready to fight, and all this happened.
I had my last meal before I was getting ready to head down to the arena when it got canceled.
Did you think it was going to happen? Was there a part of you preparing for that?
Honestly, no, not at all. No, I really, that when a fight's going on, I'm not watching the news or anything. All I'm really focusing on is getting ready for my fight. So I was kind of out of the loop on everything until my dad finally called me, and he's the one who broke the news to me it was canceled. Yeah.
Now you get to Demarques Jackson. He's been around for a while. He's a gamer. He loves to fight, active just like you are. What did you think of the matchup when it was presented to you?
I like it. He's a good fighter, well-rounded opponent. I think I match up good with him. He's going to be right in my face, which that's fine. I like that. No, I'm ready for a good fight. I think it's a good fight for me.
Your approach, like you said, it hasn't really changed much despite coming off the 2 losses. But is there a little extra pressure heading into this fight, like in the back of your mind? And if so, like, do you thrive on that, or do you try to like push that bar down and try to stay away from it?
No, there definitely is, and that's good for me. I've always done good under pressure. Obviously you come off every fight you're going to want to win. So the drive to win is going to be there regardless. But I know I'm coming off of 2 losses. I don't want to leave it to the judges. I want to finish this fight.
How do we get this thing done? Like when you say you finish, is there like a certain way you do it, or are you just looking for whatever?
Fighting's wild. Anything can happen out there, man. I'm gonna push the pace hard, and I think I'll get it done.
Lastly, I know you fought Amosov. How do you like his chances against Douglas Lima in the title fight? Like, do you think he can get it done?
I think he can. I think it's tough to count either of those guys out. That's a fight I'm gonna want to watch. I think if it goes to later rounds, I think Yaroslav is gonna win. And I don't really see him getting finished in the early rounds, so I'm leaning for him. I'm rooting for him, obviously, because I fought him, but it's gonna be a great fight.